Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So in this video, we're going to go on a quick tour of the hospital that I work at as a part of the tour that we usually give in person when applicants come during their interviews. But because of the current constraints of this season, we're going to be doing the tour virtually. So you get a treat and you're able to come along and see all of the parts of the hospital we usually show to applicants on our tour. Come along. So in this episode, you'll get to meet some of our anesthesia residents, and they're going to talk to you guys about the things that they do on a regular basis, such as take call, and their day-to-day life as residents, and how they are able to balance both work and other things. So come along with us, and I hope you guys really enjoy this special episode. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to your virtual tour. Today we'll be kind of going over different topics related to resident life, and we'll talk about didactics and things you wanted to know before starting residency.
So we'll be going around the Westchester Medical Center campus. We'll be going through the ORs, the ICUs. We'll visit one of the trauma bays. We'll go through the resident call rooms and even go through some of the lounge areas and the cafeteria as well today. So just to discuss one of the other hospitals we typically rotate at is Danbury Hospital, which is over in southwestern Connecticut, about an hour drive, or 40 minutes to an hour drive from the Westchester Medical Center campus. We have a resident house there that you can stay at as well to have some kind of closer proximity to that hospital. Danbury Hospital itself is a kind of like our ambulatory care kind of experience where they do a lot of same-day surgeries. So as opposed to Westchester Medical Center where you do a lot of more intensive trauma kind of cases, with really sick patients, over at Danbury, you kind of get the experience of same-day surgery and how that schedule over there works out.
So over the past 3 years, a lot of changes have been implemented into the program. This has been based on resident feedback. So one of the big things that we may have previously mentioned is the team captain call. One of the criticism that we had is that we want to help transition more into attending life and have more experience supervising residents. So as a team captain role, you get to supervise residents on call and get to see kind of behind the scenes of how to run a board. So that has been a big change this year. Some of the other changes is that we were initially rotating at 2 other sites. Because the other site wasn't quite meeting our needs, Dr. Bromwich, our program director, was very receptive, and so now we're down to 2 sites. So we spend the majority of our time at Westchester Medical Center, and then we also rotate at Danbury Hospital. So that has been a big change for the program. There's also been small things along the way, just in how we structure the individual rotations, just to kind of maximize their effectiveness and preparing us for being attendings and being effective anesthesiologists. So I'll definitely say over the past 3 years, there's been a lot of positive changes that definitely helped me feel more confident as I'm finishing up my CA3 year to go out into the real world and take care of sick patients. So there have been a lot of positive changes.
So I know personally when I was looking for residencies myself, something that was really important to me was kind of like the relationships between the residents, the different classes, and also within your class, and also residents to attendings, because that's something that's really unique to each program. And that's something that you should think about when you're looking for programs. For this program specifically, it's pretty phenomenal actually. My classmates and I, even though we may not see each other nearly every day outside of residency, inside the residency program, it's almost like we all help each other out. We're like a family in some ways. There's no hesitation to ask for help, and even without asking for help, people will come by and give you a hand if they see that you need some help. And then even between the classes, there's also no hesitation with asking up like a senior resident for assistance with something, and people will if there's something really going on, they'll drop their work and they'll help you out if you really need it, which I think is something that is quite unique to this program. And then also relationship between residents and attendings. Almost all the attending, or every attending here actually, can always ask for help or just chat about any topic that comes to mind without even thinking about it. So it's quite a unique experience here in that regard.
So the CA3 class is pretty unique in that we have almost well over half our class are going into fellowships. Fellowships such as critical care, cardiac, and regional anesthesia, and I myself am going into pediatric anesthesia. So each year typically it's about 50% go into private practice, and they go all throughout the country. So everyone that we've spoken to have been very successful in their endeavors, but usually it's about 50%. I applied to pediatric anesthesia, and I was very well supported by my department, and I matched into my number one choice, UT Southwestern in Dallas, Texas.
So a little biased here today. I'm also interested in pediatric anesthesia. Although as a CA2, I still have like another month or two until the application cycle begins. But with my class, it's pretty diverse as well. I have classmates who want to go straight into practice. I have one classmate in particular who loves critical care, so he wants to go into a critical care fellowship. And we also have a few classmates who are thinking about cardiac anesthesia, so very diverse here. All right, guys, let's go on the tour of the hospital. Let's get going. So this is the main entrance to the main hospital.
So we're going to the children's OR, and we have a dedicated children's hospital, Maria Ferrari Hospital.
One of the few dedicated children's hospitals in this area, actually.
So this is the front entrance of our Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. So let's go take a look.
Hi, Dr. Cody, one of the Peds Anesthesiologists.
Oh, right, same way here, and welcome to our world.
Welcome to the Peds OR.
So this is our Peds OR. Specifically, this is the Peds cardiac room. Our new cerner, computer modules, the anesthesia machine, our endoscopy equipment, and even a tiny little bed for our patient here.
This is our entrance that we take to get to the front of the Children's Hospital. It has different baseball memorabilia that you can see in the history of New York baseball. So there's the Dodgers, there's the Yankees. So it's a very cool hallway to go through.
So in terms of cafes in this hospital, this is one of two Paneras. The other one's over in the main hospital as well, where you can get a pretty good deal on coffee, tea, or pretty much some late night food if you're craving.
And the Panera and the main entrance is open almost 24 hours. As residents, you get $650 split up over a year, so you get $325 one semester and $325 the other. You can split it between Panera and the cafeteria. This is the front entrance of the Maria Ferrari Hospital. Our little patients really enjoy this area. There's the aquarium, there's a different theater that they have here. But it's a great little area to come and kind of get away from things you need a break in the OR. This is our ambulatory care pavilion. It opened about a year and a half ago.
And most of the procedures we do here in this pavilion are same-day cases. These are patients who come in and leave the hospital essentially the same day. And generally, these are hernia repairs, dental procedures, under anesthesia, a lot of the bariatric surgeries as well. So as we mentioned quite a few times during this tour, we are a level 1 trauma center. We service a pretty large catchment area. Because some of these areas that we service are pretty remote from here, we have this helicopter service here, Life Flight, and so whenever you're on call at night and you can hear the helicopter coming in, you know it's someone's definitely coming, most likely to the OR at any time.
this is our level trauma bay. Residents come for level 1 and level 2 traumas, and they'll meet the attending here. But when you come here, you'll see the surgeons, the ED physicians. So we work together as a team to take care of the patient.
Now we're heading up to the ICU. We're going to get a quick tour of that space. So this is, we're just standing at about the main entrance. We have 2 trauma ICUs. We have TICU South and TICU West. We also have a SICU, a surgical ICU that we commonly rotate in, as well as a MICU, medical ICU that you do 2 rotations in during your intern year. And typically between the other 3 years when you're doing anesthesia, we do 2 additional ICU rotations for 4 total. And those last 2 rotations are mostly in the TICU with some days or nights in the SICU. Typically, the schedule is broken down into 12-hour shifts. You either do the day shift 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or you do a night shift 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you do about anywhere from 19 to 21 of those shifts per 4-week block. In terms of what ICU has kind of done for me in addition to working in the OR, it kind of helps you get a better perspective of patient care and management pre and post-op. When you receive these trauma patients as well as surgical patients. It also gives you a chance to work with your surgical colleagues, which is a nice experience to kind of get to know them as well as get to know their requirements as well for pre and post-op, and even intra-op with patients.
So this is our entrance to the labor and delivery. As an anesthesia resident, we will do 2 OB rotations. One usually will be here, and then one will be at the Danbury Hospital that we've mentioned before. At Westchester, you see a lot of high-risk patients, and we do a lot of patients who have like preeclampsia, preeclampsia. So you get very comfortable dealing with those very sick patients. So this is a good rotation to feel comfortable. And you also have a little bit more challenge in epidural, so it kind of builds up those skills. So as we have 3 residents, we have 3 call rooms. We have a female call room, we have a male call room, and a unisex call room. So we're going to take a quick peek into the female call room. So we still have the old school bunk beds, even though there's only 1 person here. So we have our bunk beds, we have our computer, and then we also have a fridge and a microwave. And then we have a TV if you have time on call to watch something. But yeah, this is our little second home.
All the essentials.
So as we said, there's 3 residents on call. So we have the 3 call rooms. We have a senior call, which covers traumas and an OB. We have an OR resident, which is in the OR most of the night. And then we have the team captain, who's a CA3, who is there for support for the junior resident, and then also runs the board. So that's our call structure. We take about 4 calls per month, and one of them is a weekend call, and we try to alternate Saturday and Sunday. And typically, even with call, you do about 50 to 60 hours per week.
And then for each call schedule, we usually have 2 attendings on call with us, 1 attending to cover the ORs and 1 attending to cover OB, traumas, and airway emergencies.
And when you come on a weekday call, you come in at noon, and then weekends are full 24 hours. So coming in at noon is nice just because it gives you a little time to rest before call. And then the team captain mirrors the same call schedule as the attendant, so they come in at 4:30. So we're in the main ORs. This is OR 10. So this is kind of our typical setup. We have our anesthesia machine, and then we recently converted over to Cerner intra-op record. So that went live this week, so hopefully by the time you get here, all the things will be worked out. And then in each OR, we have a Pyxis, so it makes it easy to get prepared in the morning. And then we have our anesthesia card.
ambulatory care pavilion. This is the PACU area, and we're going to be heading out into the ambulatory care ORs now. I'm going to give you an idea of what those look like as well. So this is an example of the typical OR setup here at Westchester Medical Center. We have our Jaeger anesthesia machine right here. We have our new electronic medical record that we just got recently. And then some of your other supplies. You have your cart full of syringes, whatever you need, needles, catheters, and as well as our medication fixes. So this OR is pretty special because it has 1 out of 2 of our Da Vinci robots, as you can see over here. Now we're going to take the elevator down to see the main cafeteria for this hospital.
So this is the main entrance to our cafeteria. We have a variety of different foods here. There's a sushi bar, that's like a burger grill, there's a sandwich bar. So you can get a variety of different foods here. And as we said, you split up $325 each semester between the cafeteria and the Panera.
And just to give you an idea of what kind of foods they have, every day of the week they try to rotate out some foods. So they can do Greek one day, Italian, stir fry, and even Taco Tuesday. So this is one of our fluoroscopy suites where we typically do, you can do chronic pain procedures here on the fluoroscopy, cardiac caps, or cardiac device placements, TEEs, or even ablations of various arrhythmias under anesthesia.
There are many fun things to do in New York. One of the reasons why I wanted to come here is its close proximity to New York City. We're about 30 minutes away from New York City. And so up in Valhalla, you still have the kind of suburban feel, but you're very close. You can easily catch a train and get to the city. Most people kind of live in the city up into New Jersey, all the way to Connecticut. So we're very much well surround the hospital, and you have very easy ability of getting to each location.
In addition to that, if you're not a city person, we're pretty close to, we're only like 2-hour drive from the Adirondacks. If you want to go up to Lake George or for a weekend, or even just like bicycling around here, there's some good trails, so you can do whatever you really want up here.
So there's lots of opportunities to spend time with your classmates and also kind of explore the area. So thank you for joining us on our virtual tour today.
And we wish you all the best in the match.
Good luck, everyone.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.